As the sun began to set over Jerusalem, the air was thick with the scent of roasted lamb and fresh bread. The city buzzed with the preparations for the Passover, a time when families gathered to remember their deliverance from slavery in Egypt. But this Passover was different. In an upper room, hidden away from the bustling streets, a group of 12 friends sat around a table, his closest disciples. They didn't know it yet, but this meal would forever change their lives. Jesus, calm but full of quiet resolve, broke the silence. "I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer," he said, his voice soft but filled with weight. His disciples, unaware of what was to come, exchanged puzzled looks. There was an air of uncertainty around them, but they followed their teacher's lead, knowing that this meal was sacred. Jesus took the unleavened bread, held it up, and gave thanks. As he broke it and passed it around, he told them, "This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." Disciples took the bread, and for a moment time seemed to slow. The words seemed almost too simple, too ordinary for the gravity of the moment, but they held an eternal meaning. Jesus wasn't just sharing a meal. He was preparing them for the greatest act of love the world would ever know. Next, he took the cup, filled with the wine of the feast. He raised it high, and with deep intensity, he said, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." Disciples, still grasping the full meaning, knew that something extraordinary was happening, though they couldn't yet comprehend the depth of his words. Jesus wasn't just talking about a new way of life. He was offering himself as the ultimate sacrifice for the sins of mankind. As they ate, Jesus spoke with tenderness and sorrow, knowing that one of them, one of his closest friends, would soon betray him. His love for them never wavered, not even in the face of betrayal. And as they shared that meal, Jesus introduced a powerful act that would transcend time: communion. A reminder of his body broken and his blood poured out for all who would believe. The crucifixion, the ultimate sacrifice. The darkened sky seemed to echo the weight of the moment. What had begun as a night of camaraderie and remembrance would soon descend into horror. After the meal, Jesus led his disciples to a quiet garden, a place he had often gone to pray. But tonight, there would be no peace, only a storm of anguish. He prayed to his Father, asking that this cup might pass from him, but ultimately his will was submitted to God's plan. "Not my will, but yours be done." In the stillness of the garden, the sounds of footsteps echoed through the trees, followed by the clink of armor. Judas, one of his own, had arrived with a band of soldiers. He approached Jesus, giving him a kiss, his way of signaling his identity. The betrayal stung, deeper than any wound, but Jesus faced it with a calm resolve. "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" The soldiers seized him, and in the chaos the disciples scattered, unable to grasp the enormity of the moment. Jesus was taken, tried, and condemned, and despite his innocence, he was sentenced to death. The cross loomed ahead, a symbol of cruelty and despair, but for Jesus it would become the ultimate symbol of love. The journey to Golgotha was long, and with each step, Jesus felt the weight of the world upon his shoulders. The Roman soldiers mocked him, the crowds jeered, and the weight of the wooden cross was unbearable. Yet he carried it, not because he had to, but because he chose to. Nailed to the cross, the Son of God hung, suffering not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. "Father, forgive them," he whispered through labored breaths. "They do not know what they are doing." Sky darkened as if the heavens themselves mourned. The earth trembled beneath his feet, and then with a final cry, "It is finished," Jesus surrendered his spirit. He had given everything: his body, his blood, his life, for love, for redemption, for forgiveness. The sacrifice was complete. And though death seemed to have claimed him, it was only the beginning. In the wake of the crucifixion, the world would never be the same. Jesus, death on the cross, an act of unimaginable